Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Breakfast with Blaha. And today I'm having watermelon and Coke Zero. Of course, there'll be a lot of people who have negative things to say about this, and I'm going to ban them. You know, I got asked a question the other day, and this will probably be months after the question was asked. And I have a habit of being cynical with a lot of questions that I have, and it's because I've been doing this a decade, and the amount of stupid trolling and literally the amount of trolls I get that I see on a regular basis tend to leave me a little jaded, a little cynical. You know, I apologize for that. It's probably not going to change, but it's true. He asked me a question and I scoffed. And that's a problem. It's a problem because it was a good question. And I answered it politely, but I thought in my head, oh God, one of these clown ass novice lifters with their silly ass questions. And I answered him politely though. Answered him politely and said, what could he ask? Hey, you know, can we wear a weight vest while dragging a sled? You know, just for extra resistance. And I said, well, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, why would you do that? You want more resistance, just throw more plates on there, right? Throw another plate on the slide, the sled. Add more resistance, you get more leg work. I don't see the point. That's a problem because, you know, here's what we say with training. I always tell you guys with training itself, we need to know why we do everything we do. We don't touch a weight or do a rep or a movement without a why, unless you hired a good coach to write it all for you. We need to know the why. We don't randomly do stuff. Okay, that's a real bad idea for your strength and hypertrophy training. I've said conditioning, don't overthink it. It doesn't require any knowledge to get into shape. It's just hard work. So we need to be looking at our training itself, and we should always ask the why. The why. I think with conditioning, a better thing to say is, well, why not? Why not? Is there a good reason not to do it? In this case, the only thing is, well, you could put more weight on the slide. I don't know why you want to drag a vest around. Well, maybe you've already got your vest there. Maybe you've already are doing other conditioning with the vest on. I didn't even think of that. You know, when it comes over to the point of is it really going to reduce the amount of plates you can drag? Like, is the leg strength component of the sled dragging or prowler pushing really going to be compromised by throwing a 10 or a 20 pound weight vest on? I mean, is it really going to be compromised? No. Not really. It's going to make you work a little harder. Yeah. Could it be fun? Haven't I stood right here and said, oh, I was planning on going grocery shopping in my weight vest? I'm going to be doing a list cardio, riding my bike while gaming, while wearing a weight vest. I mean, if I were to use that same thing of, oh, why would you do that? That's just silly. What's the point? Then I wouldn't be doing those things either, would I? Neither would any of you, but you know what? What do? They make you work a little harder. Makes you carry some extra body weight around, help get you in a little more shape. Gets the heart rate up, works your core and everything a little more to have that weight upon you. The question becomes, why not? And when I asked this question, I couldn't think of a good reason. I didn't have a good reason of why not. Maybe the guy just feels badass wearing a weight vest. You know, and when we do cardio and conditioning is not fun. It's not like getting under a heavy barbell. It isn't. And I think sometimes we need that motivation. And maybe the guy does feel a little more badass or hardcore. Doesn't mean that it is, guys. It's cardio. There's never anything badass or hardcore about doing conditioning work. There isn't. It's one reason we don't like to do it. It's just hard. Maybe it makes a guy feel that way. Is he more likely to do it? More likely to do it. Again, conditioning work is one of those things that probably does require a little bit of motivation. Training shouldn't. Training shouldn't require motivation. It's habit. It's routine. Conditioning is a different beast. And anything that can make our conditioning work a little harder isn't a bad idea. And we shouldn't overthink it. We shouldn't be overthinking it. We really shouldn't. So I tell guys, don't try to program it. It becomes SPP. It's like for me, even I had said, well, it might slightly reduce you could do, and you might not get as good a squat carryover because the sled drag helps with the squat, blah, blah, blah. Sort of answer I gave. Well, that's sport specific. That's if you're dragging the sled specifically to bring your squat up. That's no longer GPP. We're now trying to program it instead of just getting in shape. And here's what I'm going to say. You know what? Your conditioning, your GPP work, look, just get into shape. Do whatever you need to do. You want to wear a weight vest while you jog or do hill sprints or drag a sled? Go for it. Knock yourself out. There's no reason not to. It'll probably make you work a little harder. Isn't that the point of conditioning? It's how you get into shape. Just work a little harder. Shouldn't be to exhaustion. But don't overthink these things. Have some fun with the conditioning. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.